Welcome back. And today we have a special guest. We have newly named Barrie Colts captain Connor Punnett joining us. And Connor, right off the hop, we saw the video being shared on social media where Marty Williamson comes into the room and announces you as team captain. What was going through your mind when Marty walked into the room to make that announcement?
Yeah, I just kind of we all obviously knew it was the captain meeting or captains and assistants, and you know, when he said my name, I was just kind of, a little bit in shock and kind of like a surreal moment. It's a huge honor to be a captain in this league, to be a captain of any team for that matter. And I don't know, I was just super excited and super honored.
And he mentioned in the video how he traded for you from the Saginaw Spirit, so he really knows your game. We're thinking back on your time in the Ontario Hockey League. Did you ever think that you'd have this opportunity to wear a C on your sweater with an OHL team?
Yeah, no, I was actually thinking about this the other night. Just thinking back to when I was 16 years old and looking up. You always had a captain in your team and looking how they act and how they treat the other guys and what they did, and just kind of one of those things where it's like, wow, it's such a hard thing to be a captain. There's 20 some guys in a team, and only one guy gets to wear the C's. So I mean, just looking back and seeing how hard it's been and how much I've been through, and how much I've just progressed in my career has been awesome. And just like I said, just a super awesome achievement for myself, and just super happy.
And you've served under different captains under your career, most recently Brant Clark. So looking back on the previous captains, what can you take away from that experience and then bring to your team this year?
Yeah, no, I mean, looking back on previous captain, I mean, my first year in Saginaw, when I got drafted there, Damien Giroux was a captain there. And, that's one guy who I've always looked up to. He was, one of the hardest workers and just one of the nicest guys off the ice. Like, I was a 16-year-old, he was an older guy. He treated me with so much respect, and, anything I needed, he'd help me with, and, in the rink, out of the rink, whatever. So, looking back on previous captains, on looking up to guys, that's kind of the one that, pops in my mind most frequently.
And with it being junior hockey, you're always getting new faces year by year. So seeing the new guys on the team this year, you're already starting to take some under your wing with the likes of players like Shamar Moses and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just trying to, lead by example mostly. I'm a vocal guy as well, but if I show that, the older guys can work hard, or if the older guys show we can work hard, it just kind of leads down, trickles down to the young guys. And then obviously just helping guys where they need help. I mean, on the ice, off the ice, everybody needs, a little, advice here and there. And, I'm just happy I can be one to look up to and ask for advice. It's just kind of a good feeling when guys ask you questions, you can help them and see them obviously succeed from giving them that advice. So it's pretty cool.
So what was the bigger moment Thursday night for you when you were introduced on the ice as the new captain of the Barrie Colts, or scoring your first goal as the captain of the Barrie Colts? Because that was a big one there against North Bay on Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, obviously getting introduced is cool and scoring the goal is cool, but all it comes down to that was a game time goal to help our team end up win that game. So I'm just happy I was able to put the puck in the net and help our team succeed there.
And your team off to a pretty good start, 2-1. I know it's always tough when you start a season with a 3-3, but how are you feeling about this group?
Yeah, I mean, the 3-3 is tough. I mean, especially for the young guys who haven't experienced a 3-3 before in the Ontario League, especially with travel this weekend. It was a tough weekend, but you know, I think we have got off to a good start. It would have been nice to get a third win in Owen Sound. Kind of let that one slip away. I think that we got a young team, but we're a good team. So I'm just excited to see, where we can build off that first weekend. And obviously we have a light weekend this weekend, and then, a little bit of a light weekend the weekend after, just I think 2 games. So, I'm just excited to see where we can go and, what we can do.
And you're from Powassan, so it must have been kind of nice going back up to North Bay and back in your home community. But at the same time, you saw the battalion in the playoffs last year, so that must have been a big win there on the road for you.
Yeah, it was a huge win. I mean, obviously, being from that area, I have so many friends and family that come up to watch, lots of supporters, and just playing back in North Bay just gives me a little extra fire, to be better, to win a game. But at the end of the day, I was just happy that we could go in there on the road, take 2 points from a divisional team, and get out of there.
And I just want to shift a bit to your off season with the Detroit Red Wings getting the invite to participate in the rookie tournament. What was the experience like being around players on that Detroit Red Wings team?
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. It all started in July. I went to development camp. I was there for, I think it was 4 or 5 days, and then came home, spent the rest of the summer at home. Came back to Barrie for training camp. Went there in September, and it was just next to none. People always talk about the National League and, how amazing it is and how well you're treated. And, the guys there are just, professionals. And it truly is. Like when I was there, Detroit treated us, didn't matter who you were, you got the utmost respect from everybody. Everybody was there to help you. And then, just being around guys like Dylan Larkin and DeBrincat, those guys are just phenomenal. Watching them on the ice, seeing what they can do, seeing, habits that they have and how they practice. And then, watching defensemen like Simon Edvinsson, he's the same age as me. When you're looking at that guy and you're like, there's just no way. Like that guy is way too good to be the same age as me, and just something to look up to. Just the way that they play and how they treat themselves.
Yeah, Evanson, he's a pretty giant on that Red Wings blue line, isn't he?
Yeah, he's huge. I mean, the first time we stepped on the ice, standing beside him in line, I was like, yeah, this guy's way too big.
And what was maybe a cool moment that you had when you were in Detroit, like something that's going to stand out to you going forward?
Um, the coolest thing I think we had is just that everybody there was there for the same reason, and it just made everything so enjoyable. Like when we went to the rink, everybody was there just to play hockey. Nobody cared about who anybody was, or what, there's Larkin, there's the brink at it. It's like it didn't really matter at that point. Everyone just went there. We played hockey. We bonded as like a group of guys. We kind of skated with mostly the same guys throughout the week, which was nice. And then obviously the prospect tournament was super cool. But I mean, if I had to pick one thing that stood out was I played in that red white game the last day of main camp, and I was on the ice one time with DeBrincat and Larkin, and DeBrincat came wheeling around my wing, and he just blew past me. I was like, wow, that's nuts.
Yeah. And I guess with that experience, you now know a little bit maybe what to work on for this season, because the Barrie Colts looking like could be a decent run this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, I learned lots there. I got lots of feedback from Detroit, but back in Barrie now, that's my main focus. And we have a young team. People think we're too young, but I think we got a lot of good guys in that room. A lot of hard workers, a lot of skilled guys. You just never know what you could pull together through a season, especially with a lot of young guys who are willing to do the extra and win games.
Well, Connor, well, best of luck this season, and thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
So that's the newly named Barrie Colts captain, Connor Punnett, the 24th captain in franchise history. So if you like these videos, maybe we can get a few more Barrie Colt players on as the season progresses. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and we will talk to you again soon.